All right, there we go. We are live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my fellow comic book collaborators. My name is Chris, and this is my channel, We Love Comics. And as always, I want to start the video by thanking you for taking the time out of your day to watch something of mine. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your day. Now, this video, I wanted to make sure I teach people continuously how you can ask for deals, and you'd be amazed at how they happen. So real quick, as usual, Oregon wants to be part of this. He's doing incredibly well. We feed him all natural stuff and definitely have been helping him along his way. But as soon as I start testing everything, he starts chirping at me because he wants to be in the video. So I know some of you enjoy the cats, so there you go. So before I start, I want to make sure people have plenty of time to see that I am doing a live show. Don't forget to sign up for the Cashback program. All you have to do is click on the link that I provide in the description, in the live chat, or in the comments section. And then if you spend $25 or more within the first 90 days, you'll get $10 cashback bonus. Make sure you check for any restrictions in your area. Excuse me a second. Excuse me. All right, so here we go. We have an unboxing I'm going to do, which is typical and usual here. And I will show you a deal that, unless you made this deal, it would not have happened. The price that this person was selling these books for was actually a pretty darn good price. But I'm not afraid to ask for deals, and sometimes people say yes. So I want to get this through people's heads. You have the ability to do whatever your brain and your heart allows you to do. So let's open this up. And you'll see these are some modern books, ones that I highly recommend you get. The person that was selling this, it's 6 Comics, did not have a best offer, just had a buy it now price. There was no auction or anything. So I contacted the person and said, "Hi, I see you're selling it for such and such price. Would you be willing to accept this price? And I will pay for it right now." And they packaged this really well. So they put the 2 Gemini mailers wrapped in bubble wrap with some cardboard at the bottom. So very nice job with that. They made this very secure. I always appreciate sellers that do that. But this seller contacted me, responded, and said, sure. They didn't say, well, how about this price, or let's negotiate, or go back and forth, or, you know, go to Hades. Said, sure. And as promised, because you have to keep your promises. If you say something like, well, if I offer this price, I'll pay right away, well, make sure you pay right away. And that's exactly what I did. They mailed it out quickly. Now, this is a purchase from a person from Canada. Got here fairly quickly, considering these days with the postal system. These are American variants. These are definite key books. One was based on a referral, and I'll give that shout out again in a moment. So they actually even added an extra bag and board. So far so good. And the main one that I was making sure is in there was in the first box. This, like I said, they wrapped it in 2 boxes. But like I say, just because a seller has an auction where it's a buy it now with no best offer does not mean you cannot make the effort and contact somebody. Now, many may just say no. Many may not respond. But if you get the ones that do, it makes it worthwhile. So I'm going to put these in order of importance. So all the books are here. They all look real good. So there are 6 books. And as always, I will tell you the price, including shipping and handling. Because, you know, when it's from Canada, it's going to cost a little more. And, of course, because there was they had this listing in Canadian dollars, to convert the currency. eBay charged me an extra 20 bucks. Nice that they do that. But even with all of this, it was still well worth it. So without further yabba-dabba-doo, let me show you the books. And also, guys, make sure you hit the like button. 31 people watching, 12 people like. So far, I thank those that take the time to do that. It helps my channel get out there. So if you appreciate what I do, if you could be so kind, the like buttons really help. So set your like button to stun and wait until the end to see who's today's surprise subscriber shout out. You don't even have to be a subscriber. All you have to do is participate in the live chat. And we have plenty of our moderators to be more than happy to discuss things with you while I'm doing this. So to all my moderators, thank you. And by the way, if you are a loyal subscriber of mine and subscribed for a while and comment often, there are chances you will become a moderator. It's my way of saying thank you for being a part of my channel. So, I mean, it's not, you know, you're not receiving a raise or an increase in pay or anything because you're not getting paid to be there. But if anything, it's my way of saying thank you. So if you like that, comment often, and you may be one of my moderators. So with that being said, let's show the first book. This one basically is almost a throw-in. As of now, you never know. There is no real significance of this book at all. So, but it's not why I bought it. So that's Venom number 5. I have an actual virgin variant of this graded a 9.8, but I bought that the day it came out. Who knew it wasn't going to be anything major significant, but you never know down the road. Next up, this has minor significance. This is Venom number 2. I have another copy of that. Then we have Venom number 25, the regular cover. Definitely a good book to have. Next up, Venom number 4, the regular cover. I've been talking about this. I made a video a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, saying if you have not read this book, I highly recommend reading this book. Not skim through it. Read the entire book. Because there are events in here that are pretty close to as important as in what's in Venom 3. Next, this is a book I did not have, because I only got the first 7 copies of Venom back when they came out, and it wasn't really that big of a deal then, so I basically stopped at that point and focused on other things, and that was right around where we were moving from New York to here. So this one is actually worth more than the first print now. This is Venom number 9. This is the second print. This is the first full Dylan Brock. 7, of course, being the first cameo. So I looked on GoCollect.com, and this book is about twice as expensive as the first print. So this isn't a variant, this is just the second print. So if you can get your hands on this one, I highly recommend getting it. Last but not least, referred to me by Manny the Comic Collector. This is one I passed up at the time. I did not have this. I now have it in my possession. Very happy, especially when you find out what my total price was. So we got Venom number 4. This is the third print. This is the one everybody wants. This is the hottest of number 4 issues. Not as valuable as Venom number 3 third print, mind you, but definitely still a very up-and-coming comic. So trust me when I say, even if you have to get just the regular cover, read this. Or you can go on YouTube channels. There are people, I'm sure, that will show this book. So you don't even have to buy it. I'm sure there are people that have YouTube channels, well, they'll just read a book for you and show you the book. Or at least talk about it. Think of it as a cheat sheet. So we got Venom number 4, third print. We'll just say origin of Null. There's more to it, but origin. Venom number 9, second print. First full Dylan Brock. Definitely a key issue on the rise and more valuable than the first print. Venom number 4. First print. Again, very valuable book, especially if it gets graded 9.8. Venom 25. first full virus. What happens with virus? Who knows? So like I always say, when it comes to speculations in modern books, you are taking a chance. There are risks involved. So be patient. Sometimes prices can go up, they can go down, and then years later they can go up again, or they can stay down. You never know. Who knew all the 90s books, so many of them would be worth something? Venom 2, first print. And then the one that's basically a throw-in, Venom number 5. So let me ask in the comments section, and you could do this whether you're watching live or you watch it later, what would you have paid for these books as what the current values are? I'm not saying, well, I only paid cover price or anything. I'm saying, as all things are today, what would you have paid for this group of 6 comics? Now, somebody actually mentioned, let me see if I could find it. Manny the Comic Collector says, Chris, the Venom number 4 third print sold for $305 on eBay. Now, was that graded or ungraded? Let me know, Manny. So Manny did actually refer this to me. I was busy with other books, so I did not pay attention to it at the time. Jacob said 150. Well, considering this book just sold on eBay for 300, 150 is probably lower than anyone would allow you to buy it for. Because this book alone, at a 9.8, is going between $250 and $300, according to GoCollect.com. So I think you're coming in a little bit low, but, you know, I didn't say what is the price. I said what you would pay. So Giuseppe said 400. Matt said between 200 and 300. I paid, well, this person had it listed at $350 Canadian, which already is an advantage to me with US dollars because the US dollar is stronger than the Canadian dollar. So 350 Canadian at the time was roughly about 305 to 310. Did not have a best offer. Contacted him. Asked for $75 off of what his listing price was. And they said okay. So with shipping and handling, and after eBay charged me about $20 to $25 for the currency exchange, I paid a grand total for all 6 books, $230 American, US dollar, which comes out to $38.33. Now, of course, you're going by average. So paying $38.33 for this book, not a good deal. Paying $38.33 for this book, debatable. Paying $38.33 for this book, to be determined, too early to tell. Paying $38.33 for this book, definitely worth it. Paying $38.33 for this book, absolutely worth it. And paying $38.33 for this book is a no-brainer. So, I understand there are plenty of people that may have got these the day they came out. But you have to base things on where you are at that moment. What was is irrelevant to what is, and what is always irrelevant to what will be. So you never know how things can change. These books could drop, they can increase, they can stay the same, they could be all over the place. You never know. But I feel for $230, and like I said, that includes $20 charge from eBay for the currency conversion, and the shipping and handling costs from Canada to Florida, which I'm sure was not cheap. I think I made a good deal on that book, considering what the current rate of these books are selling for. And it only happened because I was not afraid or intimidated or negative about even trying, and made the deal happen by contacting them. I was very respectful. I made a decent offer. I didn't try and say I'll give you $5 for them, because that's just a joke. But I asked for a reasonable discount that they could have said no, but they approved, which means they had no problem with my offer. And as a matter of fact, maybe they needed the money right away, and maybe they didn't want to wait the 7 or 8 or 6 or 10 or whatever day the auction was set for and hope the person will pay if they did. I honored what I offered. I said that I would pay right away, and I did. And they mailed it out very quickly, and they did a great job packaging. Everything was secure. These all have 9.8 potential. Now, of course, you have to check the book, and trust me, I learned that from one of my last videos I did a couple of days ago. Go check that out if you haven't, about the PGX book. But these books, because they're new, there's risks involved. You never know, things can change over time. But I feel this is probably about a $400 to $500 set, if not more, if they were all graded and they all came back 9.8s. Now, of course, that's a big if. But modern books, you know, you have a pretty good chance of getting 9.8s, especially if you do pressings and dry cleanings. And, of course, they're always going to be white pages. Now, whether they retain the value remains to be seen. But I think I did a good job, and I made that happen. So I want to teach people, contact sellers. Back up with what you say with your actions. Don't be intimidated or don't be discouraged. Don't say, oh, well, I don't want to bother doing it because they're going to say no, and they say no all the time. Who cares if you've done it 100 times and 99 times they say no, when you focus on the one time they say yes? Like I say all the time, it's like relationships. There's only one person out there for you, which means all the other people that you meet in your life are basically occupying your time until that time is ready to meet that person. That may have already passed to you, or it may not even have arrived, or it's currently happening to you. But if you meet the one, you're not worried about the 500 others who hurt you or dumped you or left you or whatever, because you finally got what you were looking for. So the world teaches you to be negative. The glass is half empty. It's garbage. Because first of all, whether you say the glass is half empty or the glass is half full, both are wrong. It's the world trying to teach you the wrong way of looking at things. In other words, just look at what's physically seen. This glass, and this is a candle, by the way. I bought this at the flea market that's now closed. But let's say there was only this much of the liquid in there, halfway. And I said to you, is this glass half full or half empty? Well, some of you will say, well, it's half full. And some of you will say, well, no, it's half empty. Both are wrong. Because I never said, is the glass half full of purple liquid? I said, is the glass half full or half empty? It is completely full. Because it would be half full with the purple candle wax. It's not liquid. And the other half would be air, which means there are dust particles, there are microorganisms, there is maybe dead skin cells, there could be anything in there. You just can't see it. So the world teaches you whether you pick one or the other answer, they're both wrong. Because the world teaches you only focus on what you see, because as they say, seeing is believing. And that's why I always say, if you write the word believe, straight in the middle is the word lie. Because there's a huge, huge difference between believing and knowing. So I don't believe in myself that I can find deals like this. I know I can. It doesn't guarantee it always works, but if I didn't make this deal, I would have either A, paid the full price of what they were offering, which still wouldn't have been bad, but also remember, it would have added another $20 on top to $25, maybe more, because the price would have been higher with the currency conversion, or I would have passed up on it completely. So make deals happen. If you're intimidated, you will make no effort. And that's why I say all the time, what you know in your heart or what you choose to believe becomes your truth. So if you say to yourself all the time, oh, Chris is lucky, I could never do that. Well, what's the incentive to do it if you've already condemned yourself to fail? So that's what I mean by creating your own truth. So everybody's truth is the same, whether you agree with it or not. The idea is to respect somebody else's choice, as long as it's not infringing on yours. So that is the video. I would love to know what you thought about these. We're going to do today's surprise subscriber shout out. But again, please hit the like button. Out of 46 people, 24 likes. Let's see if we can build that up. So if you would be so kind to hit the like button, it shows that you appreciate not only my comic videos, but my advice to help you become a better collector. And hit that, the link for the cashback program. If you haven't signed up, spend $25 or more within the first 90 days. You will get a $10 cashback bonus. And also remember, guys, I am selling my comics. I have a couple of videos that I made. One was on Sunday. One was in the previous Sunday. Some of them are still for sale. Some have been sold. I also have a web store where if you scroll all the way to the bottom of that web store, you'll see a bunch of pyramids. You are in the right place. That not only do I sell some comics that you haven't seen in videos, but I also have mystery boxes and mystery bags. The mystery bags, one of them has an Ultimate Fallout 4 first print. 9.8, that's about a $1,000 book. I'm surprised they aren't flying off my shelf, but eventually I'll just go through them all and I'll take it out and not do it anymore. So, as of now, it is still available. So, what you guys do is up to you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Let's give today's surprise subscriber shout out to... We're going to go with... Let's go back a little bit. See who's still here. See who is my Ultra Power viewers. We're going to go with Milk Dog, and he spells it MILKDAWG. So you are today's surprise subscriber shout out. So Milk Dog, if you're still listening, if you have a YouTube channel, you could post the link to your channel in this video. I'll just check it because we want to make sure it's not a porn site or anything inappropriate. But if it's a comic channel or something that is kid-friendly or at least adult-friendly, I'll approve it and hopefully you'll get some subscribers. So if you're still here, you can do that if you have a YouTube channel. But he writes, what are your thoughts on Venom 27 Error? I was lucky enough to get one at an unbelievable price, so no matter what happens, I'm golden. Well, there you go. So you never know what's going to happen with something because, like I said, I grew up in the 90s. I have many books that for decades I didn't even bother putting in a bag and board because they weren't worth anything and I didn't think they'd ever be worth anything. And now some of them are worth hundreds of dollars. So you never know what time will do to change the value of a book, both up and down. So when it comes to books like Venom 27, Errors, you got an advantage because they're going to be very extremely limited. And if you paid an unbelievable price, then you have an advantage there because even if it does not go up very much, if you spent $8 and it's only worth $16, well, you double your money. That's a 50% profit. Not bad. Well, actually, no, that's 100% profit. But it always depends on when you sell it and if you sell it. Because if you hold on to a book and it's worth a certain amount and it hits a peak and you don't sell at that moment, which is not always easy to tell when the top is going to be, it can come crashing down one day. You never know. So I always say if you get the best deal and you pay the cheapest price and it's a rarer book, you have a better shot. But there are no guarantees, especially when it comes to newer books. You know, it could be, like I say all the time, it could be the next Batman Adventures 12, or it could be the next Naomi #1. No one's talking about Naomi anymore. But that doesn't mean that can't change. With today's movies and the particular type of characters they're trying to force upon us, you never know. One day they might say, you know what, we want to put Naomi in a TV show or give her own movie. Now all of a sudden that book's going to be in high demand, and all the people that didn't want that book all of a sudden will now want that book when it's 2, 3, 4, 10 times what it was the day before. So don't follow trends. Be a trend setter, not a trend follower. So whether these are a good deal, I don't know. I paid below what the current rates are for these prices. It's irrelevant what they were when they first came out because I didn't buy them when they first came out. So you got to go with at the moment. With how Null is hot and Venom is hot, and it's continuing to be that way, this I thought was a good risk to take. If it doesn't work out, I can live with it. And that's what you need to do. You have to have thick skin. You have to think long term. You have to, sometimes if you overpay for a book, learn not to do that again. And say, all right, this book went up way too quick. I may not like it, but it is what it is. I can't change it even if I don't like it. So instead of huffing and puffing and ranting and raving and hating and making yourself feel miserable over something that ultimately is not going to kill you in your life or save your life either, just say, you know what? It's more than I'm willing to pay, so I'll pass on it. Maybe one day it will be worth the price that you want to pay. But at that point, you probably won't want it. I mean, Naomi #1 at one point, a 9.8 was selling. I've seen sales between $500 and $600. Right now, you could probably get a 9.8 for $100. Now, I'm talking a graded book. How many people are out there buying it? So, when it was hot, people were willing to spend $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 for that book. But now that it's gone down, nobody wants it. But I guarantee you, if tomorrow they say there will be a Naomi movie, all of a sudden everybody will want it again, but they will have paid 3, 4, 500 again. So the majority of people who say they are investors and speculators do the opposite of what you're supposed to do, and that is buy low and sell high, because most people base things on emotion. I do that from time to time too. There are books where I overpaid. Now, I give it the benefit of the doubt because I see potential future, but because it's not guaranteed, there are some times you're going to make a loss. It happens. But I tend to be more successful than I am at failing. So no one is 100%. Anybody that tells you they are 100% right all the time is a 100% liar. But the idea is, if you can win 85% of the time, that's pretty good odds. And you want to be on the side where you're winning more than you're losing. If you're breaking even, you're doing it wrong. If you're losing all the time, you are absolutely doing it wrong. So if you're not going to be willing to upgrade your game and do things that other people are giving you advice for and putting the effort in, well, you're just going to keep losing all the time. You're just going to keep getting angry all the time. And instead of appreciating many people like me and others who show you these books and give you this advice, instead of appreciating them, you're going to hate them. There are many people that I may not like on YouTube, or may not agree with, or may not follow, but I respect what they do, because if they're successful, that means they put the effort in. It is not dumb luck. I mean, I'll give you a prime example of a channel that I just don't watch. I don't have a problem with the person, just not my cup of tea. Comic Tom 101. I don't follow his channel. Nothing wrong with him. It's just not entertaining for me. And that's okay. But I respect him to no end. Why? He has his own comic book store. He has a really good following. He does a format that makes people pay attention. So I can actually not follow somebody, but still have major respect for them. Now, if that's mutual, I don't know, and that's okay even if it isn't. So I can actually respect people even if I don't always agree with them, or I don't find what they do as entertaining for me. That doesn't mean they're not entertaining. And I'm not just talking about Comic Tom 101. I'm talking about anybody on YouTube. But I can respect those that are making the success. And I'm not jealous of the PewDiePies of the world. I'm happy for them, because they took something that was as simple as watching a video game and turning it into a multi-million-dollar franchise. That's pretty darn good. So instead of being jealous of people, be happy and learn from their mistakes and learn from what they do. Don't copy them, because let's put it this way. I don't drink soda, but let's say you had Coke or Pepsi here, and you had some generic no-name brand here, and they were both the same price. Which one are you going to buy? Well, I would recommend none of them, because, I mean, a beverage that can clean your toilet, just imagine what that does to your insides, but that's a story for another time. But if everything's equal, and you have a name brand that you're familiar with here, and you have a no-name here, and they're the same price, and they're the same in every way, you're going to buy the ones that you're comfortable with. So if you're a YouTube channel, and you're not doing very many views, and all you're doing is copying other people, well, most people are going to tend to want to follow that channel. So don't be PewDiePie. Be better. Or be your version. Don't try and copy what they do, because if I'm going to... And I don't watch PewDiePie either. But if I had the chance between watching PewDiePie and somebody I don't know who is doing it a quarter good as PewDiePie, but doing the same exact thing, I'm going to watch the original. And most people are going to do that as well. So put in the effort. Put in the time. If you're not willing to do that, don't be surprised you're not winning and succeeding more than you're failing. Now, of course, you know, I'm not living the life of luxury with billions of dollars in my pocket. But I'm also not on the streets begging for a coin, so I have food for that day. You are always in control of your destiny. Whether you believe that or know that is up to you. And the best thing even about a belief is you can change it. And I hope you do, if it helps you to go in a better direction. So thanks for listening. Another one of my little rants. Some people like it, some people don't. Half the people left, which shows me they don't give a rat's behind about what I have to say other than a comic, and that's okay. If you got something from this, I am very happy to have been the person to provide it. So to the 36 people who were kind enough to hit the like button before exiting, thank you very much. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is we love comics. Enjoy the rest of your day. I look forward to reading your comments about what you thought about the deal that I made. You can do the same. Happy hunting.